In another parish by the same name, All Saints, the people were at risk of losing their small faith community. In Wheatland, Wyoming, about an hour outside the capital of Cheyenne, All Saints Parish followed a common pattern of rural parishes that struggle to exist. The people here realized that to maintain their parish, some help would have to come from within.
I started understanding that I had been having a long and arduous conversation with God. It was a message of just be quiet and pray and listen.
Joel Dingman is the mayor of Wheatland and a full-time supervisor at the nearby power plant. But Joel also realized there was more to what God was asking him to do with his life.
Pentecost is the 50th day after the Sabbath of Passover week.
In fact, it was quite clear God had been calling him through the congregation to be ordained locally as a priest. Joel's commitment was nurtured by a collaborative effort on the part of the diocese and missioners, with the support of seminary and diocesan partnerships to expand the ministry and mission of All Saints.
We've become a church that likes to be fed whenever we gather. Every Sunday we like to eat, we like to have the Eucharist. And so it was real important for our church to be able to meet that need.
The people of All Saints began to realize their own baptismal commitment and the value of shared or mutual ministry.
There will always be congregations around that need full-time clergy, and that's totally appropriate, and I support that. But for the ones that really can't do it, or even choose not to, I think this makes a lot of sense, because we begin with educating the congregation about ministry.
I see our ministry as trying to help congregations bring Christ into the world, into their own communities, into their daily lives. That's what matters to me. The mission of the church is to somehow make this world a more loving place, and I know that's not going to happen just through me.
Joel's response to ministry was not isolated. Other parishioners were encouraged to come forward with their gifts to sustain the mission and ministry of All Saints.
We have this one lady who, her ministry is hospitality, and she didn't know that. And after we told her that, she just thought, oh, and she took over this parish hall, and whenever we have a dinner or anything, she sets the table, she makes the arrangements. That's her job. And it makes her feel good. She's using her gifts.
When you give them the authority, they start being responsible for themselves. And instead of just sitting in the pew, all of a sudden, they realize that they are the ones in charge.
As the people of All Saints grow in their mission and ministry, they realize the real challenge is to practice faith in everyday life.
Worship is more of a way to gather and get us rejuvenated for the following week, to carry all those things out to the world outside of those walls of the church, so that when we come to worship on Sunday morning, we get rejuvenated and we're ready for the next week. Instead of just coming to the place that we call churches, those mortars and bricks, where we think only holy things happen there. And they can happen every day, in every place, every hour, outside of those walls.